Good afternoon and welcome to Bull Market Stock Show. This is your host Rian Hobson, and we're doing actually quite a story with the FOMC meeting that was yesterday at around 8 o'clock South African time. And there's a bit of a sell-off in the market today, but I think personally it's more to do with the big elephant, which will be tomorrow. But please do subscribe for my YouTube page, and and then you will get all my updates there. So basically the FOMC meeting yesterday, um, it didn't say anything as in much. So I doubt the sell-off of today have anything to do with yesterday. That is just my opinion. I honestly doubt that. Just to go over a few things about the FOMC meeting of yesterday, there was the participants agree to economy assisting the economy progress and to begin to discuss plans for adjusting asset purchases. So they're thinking of actually tapering. That is what they were thinking of. But they did say this in the previous minutes. So I see no difference there. And then there's another point there. Since the supply disruption and labor shortage might linger for longer, have a bigger or more permanent consequences, a vast majority of participants judge the risk to the inflation projections were skewed to the upside. Well, that is what we also know. So, and then what I was picking up is that more there is. I will not say everybody's agree. Everybody's not sitting on the same boat, and I think that uncertainty maybe that was maybe the cause of maybe a bit of a sell-off. But I honestly doubt that there's anything to do with the minutes that is currently happening. They did say they need some progress on the economy. They will still do it. They're still discussing the tapering, still discussing the same things of what they said the last time. So honestly, I don't think that is the big issue. The big issue, the big elephant in the room for me is tomorrow's OPEC meeting. Now, as I said in the last the last OPEC podcast that I have, the previous one, I think that has to do for me with the UAE that's gonna leave OPEC, and then they're just gonna pump because those words that said they are a sovereign state and they have a right to do it, to pump oil at whatever amount they want, because then they have no control. OPEC have no control about anything. I think that is the one that basically spooked the market of today because of that uncertainty that will be there tomorrow. I honestly doubt the FOMC have anything to do with this. I personally think that the bull market is still on. The only thing that is in the way, it is basically the OPEC meeting, and that will be tomorrow. If nothing happens at the OPEC meeting, as I pointed out, they can actually leave the meeting, and then the UAE will say, listen, yeah, I don't give a damn about you guys. I'm going to pump. Or they can leave without a deal, or the same deal is in, and then the UAE agree to everything, and then obviously the oil prices will rise. But that is if the United Emirates is agreeing with everything. But as things stands, those guys are pissed, and they want to pump more oil. So personally, I think that is the big sell-off in the market, because if you could see, actually, the euro is actually going up. If it was really about global growth, as what some of the people were saying on the news, global growth because of China is slacking and China looking to ease monetary policy. US obviously is easing monetary policy. That stimulus is supposed to lift up the market, of that viewpoint is supposed to lift up the market. So I personally think there is something to do with the whole story of OPEC because of that uncertainty. The dollar index is actually down today by about 0.2% based on what was said about the FOMC meeting yesterday. And that didn't help. The tapering talk is a bluff, basically, but that's why the dollar is down. Now, for the other currencies that is down, which is the Australian, New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, those currencies are growth currencies. They go with global growth, and they are down. And I think they have to definitely do with OPEC, because that story can play out as Russia and Saudi Arabia last year. And I think that is what spooked the market. Because if they don't come to agreement, UAE do whatever he likes, then we will see one hell of a sell-off. So please follow that news very closely, especially the OPEC news, because then you will get an idea of what is actually going on in the market. But I think as things stands, the UAE is not happy, and I hope there's agreement. If there's agreement, bull market continue. If there's no agreement, I think that will be very bad for the oil price. So that is it from my side today. Please, guys, subscribe to my YouTube page, and then you can get actually all my my previous podcasts that is there on my YouTube page. That is it from my side. I'll see you guys tomorrow again at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.